Many thanks for joining us. Well, it is day 2 of the 4-day G20 Sherpa meetings currently underway in Udaipur. Green development, technological transformation and women-led development were among the key themes discussed at the meetings. Our colleague Parikshit Luthra has been tracking the action. He joins us now with the latest.
Well, we're joining you from Manik Chowk in Udaipur, and there is a cultural evening right behind me, and all the Sherpas have gathered here for this cultural evening. On the big priorities, on the big issues that were discussed, definitely, as one diplomat described it, there were constructive talks, but there was implicit tension in the room over the Ukraine-Russia war. If you had to describe the mood at the G20 Sherpas meeting in Udaipur, that would be it. India has proposed a green development pact here to all the G20 Sherpas, saying that we want one agreement which encompasses all the growth and developing needs of emerging economies and the world as well. So that should include climate finance, affordable technology transfer, and a clear roadmap as far as attaining containing our sustainable development goals are concerned. Countries have raised concerns over how we are falling back on UN SDG 2030 agenda. There is also a lot of concern about the economic impact of the Ukraine-Russia war. Many countries don't want to speak about the impact of sanctions because there is tensions over that in the room as well. Russia clearly made the point that the slowdown in the global economy and the disruption is not because of the war. It is because of the sanctions being imposed by the West. The West made it very clear, and especially the G7, that price caps are here to stay, and they are meant to stop the ability of Russia to fight the war, and it will help countries like India bargain better with Russia as well. G7 clearly making the point that they will continue using G20 as a forum to put pressure on Russia to hold them accountable for the war.
India has been buying oil from Russia. We are a very large country. We buy very little compared to what Europe buys, and that has been highly emphasized. We will continue to do what is in India's interest. That there is a debt from IMF, there is a private sector debt, and there is also debt from China. And it's important that everyone sits together, discusses, and then puts out a debt package for that country.
We will continue to find ways of imposing costs, again, while recognizing that Russia's war of choice is imposing costs on the rest of the world, including the developing world. And the United States is going to stand with the rest of the world, including through the G20, to look to relieve those pressures that Russia's causing. China needs to play a constructive role in stepping forward and offering debt relief and debt restructuring on similar terms to what everybody else is willing to offer.
Well, all the action there from the G20 Sherpa meeting currently underway.